Good evening and welcome to the final Rambler Sports Locker episode of the season. I'm Bridget Murphy.
And I'm Madeline Kenny. Bridget, how do you feel about this being your last RSL ever?
You know, I'm going to feel pretty empty without the locker in my life.
Yeah, I think we're going to all feel pretty empty without you being here.
Yes, it's so sad, but this show has everything. 2 rambles, 2 anchors, and a t-shirt with Coach Dicka eating deep dish pizza on it.
So if you're looking for some good, clean RSL fun, look no further.
Looking for its 4th consecutive conference title and 3rd consecutive national championship title, this season didn't go as planned for Loyola's men's volleyball team. The defending champs were bounced in the conference semifinals by the cross-state rivals Lewis University. This defeat breaks any hopes of a Ramblers NCAA tournament bid. The Ramblers dropped the April 20th match against the Flyers 3-1. Sophomore Ben Placid led Loyola with 13 kills, while Jeff Jendrick tallied 12 kills. 6 Ramblers received all MIVA honors this season, including Peter Hutz and Jendrick, who earned a top spot in the conference first team. This year's seniors will go down as the most decorated class in Loyola athletics history, with a 99 and 21 overall record. Among many other accomplishments, the 4 graduates have 2 NCAA championship titles and 3 MIVA conference titles to their names.
New allegations have surfaced concerning mistreatment by Loyola's women's basketball head coach Cheryl Swoops. A former player says she alerted the NCAA about Swoops' conduct in 2014. Now, she shares her story.
The Norville Center of Intercollegiate Athletics provides a home for Loyola athletic programs. But inside, there have been some problems brewing for the past few years. Former Loyola's women's basketball player Kate Sohn left Loyola after the 2013-14 season, citing off-court issues with Loyola's women's basketball head coach Cheryl Swoops.
I was told I was disloyal, I wasn't being a good team player, and she mocked me, she humiliated me in front of the entire team and coaching staff.
Since Sohn's departure, 20 student athletes have left the women's basketball program in the last 3 years. According to Loyola's athletic department, 10 of the 12 returning players have quit the women's basketball team or asked to be released from their scholarships. The Loyola Phoenix reports Swoops mistreats players and crosses the line. According to Sohn, Swoops threatened players with the loss of their scholarships, leaving the student athletes on edge about their future. Sohn says that pressure was the reason she decided to leave Loyola's program to play at the University of Illinois, Chicago.
Growing up, sports have always been an outlet for me to relieve stress and anxiety. And when basketball started to be the source of my pain, I knew something was wrong.
In 2014, Sohn sent a 5-page detailed letter to the NCAA voicing her concerns about Swoops. Sohn wrote, quote, "Coach Swoops played mind games with the team that created a hostile environment, making me feel isolated and increasing my anxiety," end quote. Sohn says the NCAA didn't do anything about the allegations, leaving her basketball fate in Swoops' hands. Since the Phoenix reported Swoops' allegations on April 11th, Loyola's athletic department has announced the university will be conducting an investigation into the women's basketball program. Some Loyola students say they were alarmed by the amount of players that are leaving, but they think Loyola is taking the right steps in this situation.
I think an investigation is the right way to go in any situation like this.
I'm not sure the timeline of the players' complaints, but I feel like, it had to start from somewhere, and I just wonder what took them so long in the first place.
Coach Swoops has declined to comment on any of the allegations as of right now. Her contract will be up for renewal after the 2017-18 season. Madeline Kenny, Loyola News, Chicago. In February, Sohn left UIC's program to focus on her academics and to build her resume for medical school. She says she enjoyed her time with UIC's program.
This brings us to a segment we like to call Really with Mike and Bridget. Borrowed from those we hope to become good friends with, Seth and Amy from Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update. This is our first try, but But really, Loyola Athletic Department, really?
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 Your high-profile women's basketball coach is under investigation for allegations of mistreatment, but only after a Phoenix
Really?
newspaper article
Really?
that you took lightly because it's just students.
Okay.
Really? After they outed you to the nation? Really?
Really?
Everyone knows the Phoenix gets all of their leads from the campus safety emails we get, like this one from last month. 10 female students reported harassment inside Gentile
Really?
Arena
Harassment?
from a member of the athletic staff.
You are emailing that to us.
Really?
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 Okay. Loyola doesn't have a comment after said newspaper outs you. Really?
Really?
Really? It takes national, even international coverage to
Really?
even say, yeah, okay. All right, yeah, fine. Daily Post, you're doing it online, you're doing it national? We'll look at it. Fine, we'll investigate. We'll find. Really?
Really? Also, really? Loyola students, we get it. We get it. You hate reading, but is it that embarrassing to pick up a copy of the Phoenix? There's a major scandal on your doorstep. Really? Tell me, what does it take to get you to care about your school and your peers? Really?
Okay. I mean, really, but really, back to the athletic department, though. Really, Cheryl Swoops, did you subtweet student reporters before making a comment? Really? Regina George called. She wants her revenge strategy back.
Who here has been personally victimized by Cheryl Swoops?
I'm a student reporter. Really? Also, really, HR, PR, sports communication, and the athletic department, no one has a comment? Really? Did you really think that no one would notice that 10 out of the 12 players were not returning? Really? I mean, come on. We have to take a math core class, so I'm pretty sure you can count on people noticing how many fingers 10 is. All of them.
Really?
10.
Really?
All the fingers. Really?
Really?
Also, really? Mike, this is all the time we have for you.
Really?
Well, that was really interesting. But you know what else would be really exciting? The men of RSL versus the women of RSL. That's right, it's Battle of Sexes. Who will win the first annual Sports Locker scrimmage? Well, check it out.
we're going to have to split that into offense and defense. I would say Trisha really put her heart on the line today on the defensive side of it, and I feel like Henry put part of his brain and other parts of his body on the floor for his offensive effort.
We couldn't fight through the physicality of the other team, so I think we just got to hit the weight room, come back stronger for next year.
I thought we came out, we were aggressive. Defense was unbeatable except for the 21 points that they got. However, our offense was lacking. Trisha McCauley received the award for most aggressive chokehold, and Henry Redmond wins for the biggest flop.
That game was rigged.
Girl, I know.
Rigged.
You know how many uncalled fouls they had against the guys? Really?
Really?
Just because Bridget took the anchor desk today doesn't mean she abandoned the Ramble. However, being as she will be leaving us, we will need to find a new fearless moderator to lead one of the most rigorous and sometimes revolting, but always riveting segments on the Sports Locker. Let's go to the Ramble now for more.
Hey there, Ramblers. It's me, Bridget Murphy, hosting the Ramble for the final time. I know you're all sad. I am sad too. Except now comes the exciting part, picking a successor. I'm here with Henry and Dylan, both Ramble veterans, and they are here to argue who is going to be the new Ramble moderator. Henry.
Well, Bridget, I think that the Ramble host should be my buddy here, Dylan.
Very noble.
He hosted the Ramble my last time on, and he did a great job.
Wait, you did not win that Ramble.
No, I didn't.
No, are you harboring hard feelings?
I'm harboring hard feelings for Nader, not for Dylan.
That's fair. So why should Dylan be the new moderator?
He's a stand-up guy. He did a great job, and when Dylan messes something up, he's gonna fix it. Whether it's a relationship, a jacket. He just does the right thing.
Dylan, Henry really going to bat there for you.
Yeah.
Who's your pick?
That's flattering, Henry. Thanks. And it's ironic because I was going to suggest that you be the new moderator. What goes into being a good leader? Someone who isn't afraid to accept the fact that that he lost. And yeah, while it is true that you lost your last Ramble, it was the only Ramble you've ever lost. I think Henry shows excellent qualities. I mean, I would know. I watch First Take twice a day, and I see everything in Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith. I see all that in you, and I think that you possess everything that we need to bring this great segment of Rambler Sports Locker forward.
Very heartwarming words from both of you. Now, if you had to pick a celebrity host of the Ramble, because now that RSL is getting big time, we should probably reach the net. Give us one name of someone who you think celebrity-wise.
I think Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh.
Because if there's ever a bear in the studio here, he can take it on.
Common issue. Dylan?
Well, I think Davy Crockett would be a pretty good celebrity guest, also known for taking down a bear. But, he was known for, forging into the great unknown and taking on competition that people didn't really know is possible. So I think, Davy Crockett would probably be good. Plus, he's got a pretty good, wardrobe.
Surprised none of you went with Taylor Lautner. He's got a strong wolf background, which really helps with the Ramble. But let's do closing comments. Henry, why should Dylan be the new host?
He was in the seminary. He's a great guy. He knows sports, even though he's a White Sox fan. We can forgive that, but I think Dylan should be the next Ramble host.
Dylan?
Well, I think the fact that Henry is also a poor, this may be the one knock on him, uneducated Indians fan. He is very educated on everything else, and he's very educated and very eloquent in debate. And for that reason, I think that he would be a great moderator.
Wow. Strong words from both of you. Strong endorsements. Now this is the funny part. Henry, you win the Ramble. Dylan wins the position. Stay tuned for later in this episode when Dylan will host his first Ramble. Back to me at the desk.
Did we have that?
It pains me to say this. Congratulations, Dylan. Ramble on.
High hopes, though. High hopes.
High hopes.
We're rooting for you. Dylan, we are at the anchor desk, not technically in your corner, but spiritually. Right there with you.
And I think Henry has a bright future ahead of him. So we'll see
If
about
he's
that.
lucky.
Yeah.
If he hits the weight room. Wednesday was a stormy day in more ways than one for the women's softball team. The Ramblers traveled to Northwestern and fell to the Wildcats 9-1 in 6 innings. Northwestern got on the board in the second inning when they scored 3 runs, followed by 1 run in the 4th. Ramblers center fielder Brooke Wilson scored Loyola's lone run in the 5th, which was answered by 4 runs from Northwestern in the bottom of that inning. With the loss, Loyola falls to 20-23. Overall, the Ramblers have been successful in non-conference games. However, in the MVC, they are sitting at 4-14, which is the worst in the conference. The Ramblers are next scheduled to play against 6th place Bradley tomorrow in Peoria, Illinois. First pitch is at 5:30 p.m. Hundreds of hopeful athletes and millions of fans will be glued to their televisions Thursday night for the NFL Draft for the 2016 season. Alfredo Rodriguez has more.
The NFL Draft is back in Chicago for the second straight year. The draft will begin on Thursday, April 28th and continue through April 30th. If you don't have tickets to the draft and still want to participate, you can visit NFL Draft Town, open to everyone, which includes a fan festival, an NFL museum, and interactive activities such as kicking a field goal or a 40-yard dash. Chicagoans are happy that the draft is back, but native Travis Cook isn't as excited as he was last year.
It was fun last year. This year, the novelty's kind of worn off. I like the idea of them rotating it around to multiple cities, though, so that's cool.
Other natives, such as 15-year-old Ross DeGrazia, is excited to see the draft back in Chicago.
I will be working right outside here at my hot dog stand for the draft. And maybe on one of my off days I'll check it out.
The draft starts here in Grant Park this Thursday, and there's gonna be besides the obviously the teams picking their teams. There's gonna be festivities for kids. There's gonna be families. There's gonna be food, some concerts. So we welcome you to enjoy here.
Our very own Chicago Bears have the overall 11th pick at the draft, and fans are predicting what steps the Bears need to take to dream big.
People who can come in, contribute, just be solid players, and the rest will take care of itself.
I think we need better defense, and we need a better defensive line to protect our quarterback.
Robert Morris University football player Kanye Allen is particularly excited for the draft because he hopes to be there someday.
It's a great experience because it's my first time seeing it. It's going to give me motivation because that's what I love to do, play football.
Like most football players, Allen is dreaming for a chance to play professionally, and like most fans, is excited for the upcoming season. The Bears open their season on the road on September 11th against the Houston Texans. For the Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Alfredo Rodriguez.
You can download the NFL Draft Fan Mobile Pass app to win cool stuff and stay up to date on the draft picks and special events at Draft Town. For those of you who watch Saturday Night Live, you're probably familiar with Stefan, the city correspondent. Lucky for us, we have Stefan's Lebanese cousin who lives here and works as our very own Chicago city correspondent.
Hey Stefano, so how are you?
The same.
So we're heading into summer vacation, and we were wondering if you had any tips for Loyola students who are staying around Chicago.
If you're in the mood for some good college fun, the place you should go is, does this place card hard? Located in between a Planned Parenthood and several late-night food place establishments, this place has everything. A basement that was once a sex dungeon, Food Network's Guy Fieri, that blunt from Mac and Devin go to high school, and 6 grapefruits. Founded on the remnants of a woolly mammoth burial ground, you can no longer find a bar, but sometimes find paint and wine nights hosted by famed dentist Rob Floss.
Okay, Stefano, I'm not sure that's the kind of thing Loyola students are looking for.
Yes. If you're a true Loyola fan, Rogers Park's hottest nightclub is on Thursday nights. This bar has everything. An unnecessary cover, unless you've been so belligerent that the staff is afraid to charge you, $2 shots of Fireball, or is it piss, and human Lou Wolves.
Do I dare even ask, what is a human Lou Wolf?
It's that thing when when there's a midget that waits until there's a full moon and then dons the abandoned fur vest of a sorority sister whose chapter was put on probation after their Twilight-themed semi-formal, then makes you put your hands into llamas, answer trivia questions you don't know because no one here cares about sports trivia.
Are you sure that this is like the typical Chicago summer break that, all these students really want?
Fine. If it's summer you want to be broken, look no further than Chicago's hottest club, Ted Cruz is a Zodiac killer. In a broken down 8-ride van, this club has everything. Porter Moser doing squats, the frozen remains of Richard Clairchuk, an MCAT prep book. You can dance the night away at George Fallis's junior smash hit. It's not gay if it's in a 1963 way.
Wait, Stefano. Wait. Are we sure this is the typical Loyola experience? We're talking about a Jesuit institution here.
Okay, well, if you like Jesuits, you must know a thing or two about setting the world on fire.
That's actually one of our goals in our undergrad program.
Yes. If you want to set the world on fire, the best place you can go is Devon Market. There, they sell both lighter fluid and matches, which will give you all the tools you need.
Stefan, everybody! What a character.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, maybe we could take some of his suggestions.
I think I had better
Pretty sure
plans.
the Phoenix had some coupons for Devon Market.
You know what? Maybe we can go get our lighter fluid there.
Well, now we'll send it over to Dylan for a rousing debate about Tom Brady's balls.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Welcome back to the Ramble desk. It isn't my first time, but you wouldn't know it. I'm Dylan Conover, and I'm here at the desk with Bridget. She also couldn't get away from the desk. She's back to Ramble, and joining us from last week, the reigning champion is Joe. And today, we're talking about Deflategate. Guys, it's back. We thought it was gone. We thought it was put to rest, but it's not. And my question for you is, should it be? Joe, we'll start with you.
Well, Dylan, I'd like to start off by saying that tie is smashing. Great Cubs colors you got. But let's talk about, I know that the Deflategate issue, the thing that keeps resurfacing and not resurfacing is the actual deflation of the footballs. But let's talk about the punishment that never changed, and that was the withholding a draft pick. Now, you can't tell me in the first round of this NFL draft the Bears are not going to take a linebacker.
Okay, but you know what's really funny? People think that Golden State is going to win without Steph Curry.
Okay.
Tell me what that is.
Please
tell me what that is.
That's fair, but I can't believe without any evidence you can insinuate that Jake Arrieta took steroids. Can you please explain to me?
I'm so sorry, but that's like, what are you even talking? What I'm impressed with is that the Blues beat the Blackhawks. Why did they do that? That was kind of rude, and I don't really understand where they were coming from. I know they come from St. Louis, but like where? Where?
Look, Fred Hoiberg didn't quit on his team.
Now, Bridget, I have a question. Does Detroit deserve an MLS team then? Is that the question here?
Okay, well, Dylan, here's the thing about Detroit. They're getting a new stadium, but except it's got to be prettier than the Joe. The Joe, it looks very industrial, but that's Detroit's heart and soul. But do we want it pretty up downtown, or
Joe, is Damian Lillard overrated then? I mean, he's never talked about in the MVP candidate.
Well, you should ask Drake LaRoche that if he can one of these days be reached for comment. But I think out in Portland, Dame is just getting his talent is just awash out there, and I just don't understand how.
But I think all of this comes down to one thing.
What's that?
Swoops.
That's her fault.
That being said, it is really is a dark time for all of that. And, bringing it back, I liked what you said about Drake LaRoche, and, it reminds me of his dad and the heroics that he did in Southeast Asia. That's right. How saving people who were, sold into slavery.
He's basically Captain America.
So for that reason, I'm going to have to go with Joe winning this week's Ramble. Bridget, I know, you're so used to hosting, but I'm going to have to give it to Joe on this one.
I must be rusty.
That's all the time we have for this week's second Ramble, this final Ramble of the year. Back to you guys at the desk.
2 for 2.
Well, that was interesting.
You know what? I think he's ready.
I think he's ready. He's ready. Thank you for joining us for our season finale. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media listed below.
And remember, as we go on,
we remember
all the times we've
had together.
And as our lives change,
come whatever,
we will still be
Ramblers forever.
Forever.
Well, that's all we have for this week's episode of the Rambler Sports Locker. I'm Madeline Kenny.
And I'm Bridget Murphy. Don't forget to turn out the lights. Wait, Maddie, are you even a senior?
One more year of eligibility.
Get out of here.